Hey MedSpa owners, if you're struggling with your marketing, it may not just be because you had a really bad marketing agency, but maybe it was. But usually when I see medical spas that are struggling with marketing, it's usually because their foundation was not strong. So let me talk about foundation, because foundation is not just from an online marketing perspective. There's other things that go into this as well. And when you talk to most marketing agencies, they don't talk about foundation. They're looking more very much at the tactical approach to marketing. So it's, hey, you have a problem with growing your practice. Hey, you have a problem with getting leads. You have a problem with getting clients. Let's run meta ads for you. Let's run Facebook ads for you. And hey, we've done this for others before, and we'll get you 100 new patients in 2 minutes, guaranteed, or your money back. Or they come up with other crazy offers. And then of course they can't hit those. You get burned. You may have gone through many different marketing companies before, and every single one keeps promising more and more and more, but delivering less and less and less. Again, because they're very tactical. They're just looking at what platform, what channel can I just run a bunch of leads to get to this person, whether they are good leads or not good leads. But they don't look at what do we need to set up first with this practice to make sure that any marketing is going to be successful. So that's the thing about when it comes to your marketing. And notice I'm saying marketing, not necessarily online marketing, although it is going to be very helpful in any online marketing you do. But even in offline marketing channels, some of this foundation is going to be very helpful. Now, I talk with med spas all day long, all across the country, and very few of them actually have a marketing foundation set up, or even think about how they're going to be doing their marketing or setting up their foundation. Now, competition has been going up, and I'm sure you've been noticing this too. There's a lot more med spas opening up. There's a lot more even individuals just opening up and getting a single room somewhere. And so competition goes up, prices go up, and there's less clients to go around. So how are you going to compete? How are you going to stand out in this competitive landscape? So you have to think about, what are the things that we can do to stand out? What are we doing that other practices are not doing? So that's how it's going to help you separate yourself, differentiate yourself, and make sure that your message is coming through in a very crowded market. So the first thing you need to think about is your messaging and your positioning. So what do I mean by this? Are you going to be a generalist, or are you going to be a specialist? Now, with that being said, I want you to think about this. Who gets paid more? Doctor that is a generalist or the doctor that is a specialist? Almost always it's gonna be the doctor that is a specialist. Because if you're a generalist, people come to you like that. This is gonna be maybe like your family doctor, versus the specialist who is going to be a knee surgeon or a brain surgeon. That's the one thing that they specialize in and that they're very, very good in. They don't have to be a surgeon, but if they're very good in one specific area of the body, then they could generally ask more, they can charge more because they are that specialist. Now, I'm not saying that your practice only has to offer one thing, but you do want to make sure that how you're doing your positioning, how you're doing your messaging is making you seem like you are the specialist in that area, particularly as you grow and as you expand. And maybe you just start off as you're a specialist in injectables, Botox, fillers, and that's fine. But then as you want to grow and you want to add on more items, is that you can say that, okay, you know what? I really focus on the facial rejuvenation or the body contouring. That can encompass many other treatments. Or depending on how you want to grow, you can be the specialist in injectables and you bring on someone who's the specialist in body contouring. You bring in the specialist who is, all they do is cool sculpting. And then that way you're able to position yourself depending on how you're doing your marketing message. So if the cool sculpting specialist, if you're featuring that person, then you could be like, hey, we're the specialists at cool sculpting. If you are featuring yourself, hey, I'm the specialist in injectables, and that's how you do your positioning. But you always want to try and specialize. Like for us, when we do our, as I'm doing content videos here and giving information, is that I'm saying that we work with medical spas. We work with medical practices. We're a specialist in this area. Now, if I talk to a lawyer or an accountant or a roofer or a plumber, can I give them good marketing advice? Yeah, but I'm positioning myself as the specialist in medical spas. So now when we work with medical spas, we charge more because we're a specialist in that area and we can get them very good results. So that's what you think about when it comes to your position. You also have to think about, how do you want to charge and what kind of clientele do you want to attract? Do you want to go after the high income, high end type of clientele, or do you want to go for lowest price? Now, either way you want to go, I'm not going to judge either way, but there are pros and cons to each side. Obviously, the higher end ones, more people want the higher end, but there are less of them, and they are harder to attract. On the lower price side, there's a lot more of them, but then if you go too low, you're going to start dealing with the Groupon type mentality people, where they're just looking for a deal. There's very little loyalty, and you run into those issues as well. Again, both have their pros and cons. However, in my opinion, I think you should try and go after the ones that are a little bit more on the higher end. I wouldn't say you have to be the highest end, but I would say a little bit higher than average. And those are the kind of people that you want to go after. They are typically looking for good value for the price. They are typically a little bit more loyal. They typically don't have that cheap Groupon type mentality. You're not dealing with that as much, and there's a little bit more of them. You're not going after like the high-end super uber wealthy people, but you're going after people that have the means of be able to afford your treatments. So you have to think about who are you going after, and even you have to think about your physical location. You may want to go after the high-end people, but if you're in the low-end area of town, that's going to be a very hard hurdle to overcome. So you have to think even about physical location. That is going to play a role in how you have to put together your business strategy. Now, that's the first one. The second one is risk. People are going to go with typically the safer choice. Now, this has been studied in psychology before, that people are going to very often avoid loss more than they're going to seek gains. So if they're being put in a position where they have an equal chance of losing $100 or gaining $100, most people are going to want to avoid that losing the $100 scenario more so than they would choose wanting to gain $100, even if the odds are the same. Now, in reality, it equals out to about the same thing, but the way that people perceive it is that loss. They're going to look at that much more in their mindset. They're going to weigh that a lot more. And you think about it. I mean, this comes from an evolutionary standpoint, is that when our ancestors were living in caves, that if something was going to happen, that they were going to lose something, their source of food, their mating partner, their team members who was going to help them to survive, then that was more of prioritizing them their survival than gaining something. Gaining access to something warmer to keep you warm, gaining access to food that tasted a little bit better, getting access to something that made your life a little bit more comfortable. It's because of that, is that survival was really what drove them. And so that avoiding loss, because if they had that loss, that could lead to their death. Gaining something was more, oh, this is nice, but not necessarily based on survival. And that has followed people. So people are going to be looking at how are they able to reduce their risk. So you have to think about this. How are people perceiving you online? And how can you make it in a way where it lowers their perceived risk in their mindset of going to you? So this can take many different forms. One is online reviews. You have to focus on getting a lot of good online reviews. You can't get away from this. And you want to get to a point where your online reviews are so powerful and so many compared to your competition that you are the no-brainer option. That's what we do when we work with our clients, particularly when we help them with search engine optimization, is that we want to make them the no-brainer option. That when people see them online, they see that, oh wow, they have so many more reviews and their review score is really good. So many more reviews than their competition that it's, oh, of course, I'm going to go to this person. So that's what you want to do. Again, this is reducing the risk. If people see a lot of reviews, especially more than the competition, that greatly reduces the risk in their mindset. Having a website. Now, hopefully you have a website, but if you don't, you definitely need to get one. And also making sure the website is professional and it matches your brand. Again, when people look at a website, number one, do they have a website? If they don't, then that's a very big negative thing that in their mindset, how they perceive this business. So you need to at least have a website. After they go to the website, they're gonna make a pretty quick determination in their mindset. Is this a legitimate company? Are they big? Is it a single person? How long have they been in business? So you have to at least match your brand to it. Now, again, I said it's all about perception. How are they perceiving you? You may be a single practitioner, but the way you perceive yourself online can make it seem like you're a big med spa, a very established med spa. And perception, when it comes to online, is reality. So think about perception. How is your website? Is it matching how you want the public to perceive your business, even though it's maybe not the reality? And the other one is gonna be testimonials. This could be written, which you can really just pull from your online reviews channels, Google Business Profile, Yelp, any other ones. If you can get video testimonials, that's going to be even better. Before and afters are also really good. So, and you want to really focus on trying to get these as much as possible, particularly the online reviews, because that's a pretty simple thing to get. Before and afters, video testimonials, then you have to deal with the waivers and all that kind of stuff, but it's still important. So I'm not I'm not downplaying it, but there is a little bit more that goes behind it. But all of these things that work together is going to help reduce the risk in your potential client's mind. So the more you're able to reduce that risk, that perceived risk, the higher the chance that you're gonna have for success. Now, the third one's gonna be handling leads. How does your team handle leads coming in? Now, these could be leads coming in from referrals, leads coming in from people finding you online. This could be even from your paid advertising channels, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever channel it is. But how you handle the leads, how your team handles these leads is a very important part. So it really is going to set the stage for how people is first interacting with your company, with your business. Is that a good experience or a bad experience? And what is the sales ability of your team members? So when you talk about doctors, they talk about their bedside etiquette, but this is really tied more towards their phone etiquette. How are they on the phone? Are they giving good information? Are they really helping that person through the process? And are they booking them into a consultation or even into some type of paid treatment? That really comes down to their sales ability. And having a front desk person handling the leads is not always the best option. And I know, I get it. You don't necessarily have the funds to hire a salesperson. But if you have a front desk person who has some sales ability or some sales incentive to learn sales, then that's going to already get you further along and increase the chances that you're going to improve the revenue for your practice, because the front desk person is the first person that your potential clients are going to talk to. And if they have a good experience, that's going to lead to more income. If they have an okay or a bad experience, that's going to lead to a lower income, a lower revenue for your business. So don't neglect that front desk person and how they're handling the leads on the phone. Next one is going to be consultations, paid versus free. Now, I'll shoot another video on this that's more in depth, but just so you know that you have to think about what is the quality versus the quantity. How are you viewing paid versus free consults? Now, maybe you're doing free consults right now. When you first get started, I have nothing against free consults. It can definitely work. Paid consults can also work as well. But again, you have to think about what is the situation you're in right now. Are you already a big established practice? Are you getting lots of leads coming in and you are kind of drowning in too many leads that you can't get to everybody? So typically speaking, if you are more established, if you already have a flow of leads coming in from somewhere and you just can't get to many of them, then I would shift more towards the paid consultation side. If you're typically newer, you don't have as many leads coming in, I would typically move to the free consultation side. Now, with that being said, you also may be in the situation where you're almost on the border there. And so this is really going to come down to how well is your front desk person able to sell that paid consultation. So think about your competitors, many of them are offering free consultations. So if I'm looking for someone to help me with my treatment and these 3 people are offering free consultations and this one person offering a paid consultation, why would I want to go to that person who's offering a paid consultation? If they're all telling me the same thing, oh yeah, we offer that once you come on in. Okay, great, I'll come on in. Oh, by the way, it's going to cost you $50 for this. Ooh, why? Oh, well, because X, Y, and Z. This is when the sales ability comes in. That person's gonna have to really sell me on why am I paying for this when these 3 other competitors are giving it to me for free. So you have to think about it from that point of view also. You may have the brand, you may have a lot of leads, but if that person who is booking that cannot sell that paid consultation, then you're really gonna struggle. So you have to think about how are you going to do that paid versus free consultation. Next one is gonna be client acquisition. How are you acquiring your clients? Now, if you're looking at a fast way of doing it, paid advertising is gonna be your fastest path to get there. Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Now you probably would have used at least one of these channels in the past, but I'll quickly break down the pros and cons for each one. And you could even end up doing both. If you are promoting a high ticket service, a service that's going to be $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 plus, Google ads is typically going to be the better place to do that. Because if people are searching for a treatment, then they typically know the pricing and they typically are willing to spend more because they have a higher buying intention. Now, on the Facebook and Instagram side, if you are offering a lower ticket item, $100, $200, $300, then Facebook, Instagram is probably going to be a better channel for that because those people, they are not looking for it, so their price threshold is going to be lower. They're going to be willing to spend less off the bat, but you're typically going to get more leads from the social media channels. So in that sense, is that they're willing to spend less, but you get more of them. And if you're promoting a low ticket service, then Facebook, Instagram is probably going to be a better channel for you. Now just be aware that Google Ads, you're typically going to get a higher quality of lead. And when I say quality, I'm talking about buying intention, but you're going to typically get less of them. On the Facebook and Instagram side, you're typically going to get more leads, but they're going to be a lower quality. So this is where you have to balance this. And this is why I say that depending on what type of service that you are promoting, that's also going to play a big role in which channel you use. The next one I want to go into is going to be referrals. Now, med spas make their money on the repeat business. You're really, especially if you're doing marketing, if you can break even on getting a new client, then that's actually a good start. You don't have to worry about making money up front because you're going to make more money ongoing. And referrals is a great way to do that. So if you don't already have referral programs in place right now, I highly recommend that you start putting them together. Because if you're able to put something in place to incentivize your current clients to refer more people over, that's going to help accelerate the growth of your practice. Now, you may have the mindset that, oh, well, I don't really want to push them. I just want them to do it if they like it. I don't want to come off as salesy, but this is how you grow your practice. It's about sales, promotion, marketing. And you have to think about, are you a business owner or are you a practitioner? Because if you're a practitioner, you could work in a hospital, you can work for another company, and you can still be a practitioner. You can just focus on dealing with your patients, dealing with your clients, and that's you as a practitioner. But if you're a business owner, your primary goal is to grow your business. And for those of you who have trouble with, oh, I don't want to come off as salesy, I really don't like selling, then think about it this way, do you believe that you can provide a better service and a better treatment than the vast majority of your competitors? Yes or no? If you do feel that way, then it is your ethical and moral obligation to sell people on your treatments. Because if this person is looking for a treatment, then they are going to go to you or they're going to go to somebody else. And if you're not able to sell them on coming to you, then they're going to go to somebody else. They're going to go to your competition and they're going to get a lesser service. They're going to get a lower quality treatment than what you could have provided to them. So it is your ethical responsibility to make sure that they come to you instead, because you will get them a much better result than most other people. So this way to think about, this is why you have to promote it, is you have to promote your business. You have to think about, how can I get my existing clients to want to refer their friends over to me and not just leave it to them. It's, again, this is your business. If you want to grow your business, you need to work at it. So come up with programs, and then when you do, promote it. Don't be afraid to ask your clients. And if you're a little bit shy about this, ask your best clients first. See how they respond to it. Again, like, you've established relationships with many of your close clients. I'm sure they're fine helping you out and supporting you, especially if you've gotten them great results overall this time. Now, to tie into this is going to go into the next point here, which is increasing the lifetime value of your clients. As I just mentioned, you're going to make your money on the repeat business. So how are you able to get people to come in more often, and how are you able to get them to spend more? So this comes down to, depending on what treatments that they're coming into you for. If they're coming into you for Botox, then they're coming into you every 3 months or so. But are you actively reaching out to them before that 3-month mark to get them to come back within that time frame? Because if people come to you every 4 months instead of every 3 months, it's only a 1-month difference. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But let's say that all you do is Botox. And if you get someone to come in every 3 months versus every 4 months, you've just increased the revenue of your practice by 33%. Just by that. So if you're making $1 million, you're now making $1.3 million. Just by getting them to come back every 3 months instead of every 4 months. So this is how you increase the lifetime value of your client. Get them to come back more often when they should be. What's another way of doing it? It's how you're able to sell them on other services that are related to what you've offered to them. So again, I'll use the Botox example. They come to you every 3 months for Botox. What else can you offer them? Hey, you know what? Fillers may be a good option. Maybe some type of hydrofacial may be helpful. Maybe even body contouring. Hey, they're focusing on their face. What about their body? So you think about, how can you upsell them on other services, especially now that they have the relationship, they know you've done good work for them, they're really happy so far. So what are other services that can help them on their beauty journey or whatever it is that they're looking for? That's how you're able to increase the revenue of your practice relatively quickly. Because again, you're selling to your existing clients. That's an easier sale than trying to bring new people coming in. Now, next one I want to go into is going to be the importance of search marketing. So if you've ever heard the term SEO, search engine optimization, this is really when people are searching on Google and finding you organically. Now, I can dive extremely deep into this, but the most important thing is that you want to be found at the top of Google, and you also want to have the online reviews to support that. So search engine optimization is probably going to be get you the highest quality lead from an online channel. And in my opinion, it's going to get you the best return on investment long term. So you definitely want to invest in that channel. Next one, content creation. Now, social media is getting more and more important, particularly for aesthetics. Before and afters, client testimonials, like you actually doing the treatment. Now, content creation is not always easy. What I recommend is that you want to batch how you're creating your content. What I mean by that is you want to set aside 1 day a week, 1 day every 2 weeks, 1 day a month, where you basically create all of your content. Now, this could be just you talking to camera like I'm doing right now with you. You can do going into the practice and you doing a treatment. You can be you talking with your clients. You really want to take 1 day and kind of think through, like, what are all the videos that I want to shoot? And then from there, you take that whole day, or not even the whole day, you can take a couple hours. You shoot all the videos that you want to shoot. And then from there, you can start to drip that out over time. So when you create all your content in 1 day, then you can send that out over time. And then from there is that you only need to do it once per month, or once per week, or once every 2 weeks. It's easier to manage versus just, oh, every day I want to create a video. Because if things get busy, which obviously they are going to happen, things are going to happen in your business, you may forget about it. And then it starts to build up. Oh, I forgot about it yesterday. Oh, I'll catch up tomorrow. Tomorrow gets to be busy also. And then you're a week into it, you're like, hey, I haven't done this for a whole week. I said I was gonna do 1 a day. You know what, this content creation thing is too hard. But if you're able to batch it, then it's much easier for you to be able to do that. Okay, next tip is gonna be lead nurturing. So when you get leads coming in, not every lead is going to turn into a client. Not every lead is even going to turn into a consultation. But what are you doing with that lead? Are they going into a bucket where you completely forget about them for all time? Or are you doing something about it? Are you sending them constant emails? Are you working on following up with those leads every couple months or so? So you want to keep nurturing your leads because they did show interest. So they were interested in the service and they maybe just weren't ready at that time. So what is it going to take for them before they finally make that decision? It could take them several months. It could take them several years. But you want to make sure that you keep following up with them. You keep nurturing those leads. And the final one is your website conversion rate optimization. So what does that mean? Is that if people come to your website, are they going to take that next step? Are they going to take that next action? So some of the most common ones I see is address, phone number is at the very top, or it's very clearly on the top section of the website. It drives me crazy when I'm trying to contact a business and I cannot find their phone number. I'm looking all over and it's a struggle. It drives me mad. So you don't want to make it difficult for your potential clients to try and contact you. So any way that you can get them to call you, to find your address, to submit their information, to book an appointment, you want to make it very, very easy for them to do that. So these are 11 marketing tips for you to help grow your med spa, to help get more clients coming in, to help increase the revenue. Now, if you need help with this, then we're happy to talk you through this, see how we can help you implement this for your practice. There's a link below this video. Click on that, schedule a time to talk with our team, and we're happy to help you through this. Otherwise, hope this helps and wishing you luck on your journey.